Time frame. When will Palantir be a $1 trillion company? I want to clear this up. I don't think you guys realize how wishful your thinking is on the next 1 trillion market cap is. If Palantir grows revenue by 50% year over year and trades at a 50 price to sales ratio, we currently have a something around 40 price to sales ratio, we do not hit the 1 trillion mark until 2028 or 2029. This is an absurd growth rate, one I'd love to see, but one you should not predict for the future. The PS, or the price to sales, of 50 would likely be one of, if not the highest price to sales on the market in 2028. So, to further hedge your expectations, let's put a price to sales ratio to 30. The EBITDA, or the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, average for software trends lower than that still, but 50% growth should lead for a very high valuation. So, if we more than double the total revenue every 2 years and have a 30 multiple, we hit 1 trillion by 2029. This, in my opinion, is still too soon. I don't know of any company that has done that. Amazon's best 2 years after its startup phase period was 40% in 2010 and 41% in 2011. Apple did a similar growth in 2011 through 2012 with a 66% and a 44.6% revenue growth. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's in the realm of possible, but to reach the 1 trillion mark, Palantir hits closer to half of its estimated total addressable market, 119 billion, by having a revenue of 42 billion by 2029. Since we made 1 billion 90 million in 2020, by 2029 the company would need to have grown revenue by 3,853% in 9 years. I am certainly no bear, but that is a high valuation even for 9 years into the future. I think there are other companies that are far closer to the 1 trillion to say that we will be the next. I do think, however, that we will be one of, if not the fastest growing into the 1 trillion market cap in 15 years or so, if we grow revenue by 40% year over year and I have a 30 price to sales ratio, we hit 1 trillion market cap by 2034. 40% until 2030 and 30% after that. We'll still have a 30 PS ratio, and that gives us 2035 to 2036. If we maintain a 30% growth rate until fiscal year 2039 and somehow kept a PS of 21 or higher, we can see a 1 trillion market cap in 20 years. I, for one, would love for even the last scenario, but that is still an extremely bullish stance and will far and away beat the market average if it comes to pass. Long story short, this is a long term play. I know it's nothing new, but I keep hearing people spouting the nonsensical 1 trillion and it comes across like it's happening today or next week or within a year or just soon. As my final ramble, 30% year over year gives Palantir a revenue of 159.7 billion in 2039, higher than their current estimated TAM. This should not be a problem though. It should be fine considering inflation, general increase in the TAM as data becomes more important, and the strong possibility that Palantir adds new products to bring in even more revenue. Coda. I feel like most of us Palantirians get overly excited, hence this write up. I will offer two final things. One, the unrealistic, but still feasible in the realm that it can happen, and two, other companies' price to sales ratios. If Palantir grows 50% and we see a price to sales of 100, we break 1,000 billion or $1 trillion by 2026. Be warned, this is the least likely to happen out of every scenario, in my opinion. So, what are the other PS ratios of some companies? We have Snowflake at 88.08, Nvidia at 26.12, C3.ai at 31.01, Tesla at 21.27, Microsoft at 12.77, Snap at 34.74, Zoom at 35.74, Cloudflare at 66.77, and ARGX at 58.01. Up, or rather down, from a recent high of over 150 price to sales ratio. I think you get the point. Incredibly high PS is unsustainable, and therefore we need to wait on the company to continue to grow. This is still the only point on the stock that leaves room for doubt. Everything else is amazing. They have great management, fantastic software, good partnerships, fantastic revenue, and a fun culture. Palantir is everything I could ask for in a company, but the stock price is scary. I'll leave this with a quote from another Reddit post that I found in r/investing. Historically, anything with a price to sales ratio over 30 underperforms as an investment. The revenue growth will outperform, but the overall stock still underperforms because all that revenue growth was already priced in. None of the FANG stocks ever exceeded a price to sales ratio of 25. Microsoft had a PS ratio of about 28 back in 1999, and it took 17 years for the price to recover.